Welcome back, everyone, to Missions 101, where we are going to run the 5th and 6th missions for the first daily set that we are running here, with 2 missions per episode. And let's speak with Horn for the last of his missions for today. I have a new mission for you, Pineleaf. My scouts have returned from Brein with troubling news. As we feared, the Frost Horde has overtaken the ruins and has begun to use it as a means to launch attacks on our forces in arid Mithrin. We have learned that the leader of those forces is the hobgoblin Frostcaller known as Ruchnul. You are to travel to Kebrayan and put a stop to Ruchnul before the Frost Horde can regain a stronger foothold in arid Mithrin. Go! For the Joruka! For the Gabil Aka! Alright, so we need to head on and see what's in the snows of Kebrayan. Alright, let's accept that. And also, what do you have for the final briefing? Although it once served as a camp of the Ungolidain, Kebrayan has fallen to the Frost Horde. From within its ruined walls, a powerful hobgoblin leads the raids on Scarhald and keeps watch on the newly laid eggs of the Frost Horde. Your mission is to defeat the powerful hobgoblin Ruchno at Kebrayan, and the twist here is Hremel's chosen. The monster commander of this mission will attempt to summon blizzards. And yes, those blizzards can be nasty. So whenever I see him trying to summon the blizzard, I like to just beat him in the face so that the blizzard doesn't happen. But now let's go and travel to the snows of Kebrayan. We have arrived at Kebrayan. And inside here, we have, well, so far none of the mobs yet, but aha, they have finally come in. You need to be careful about just rushing right in to an area. If it looks like there are no mobs there, could be they just haven't spawned in yet, especially if it's the main area where you're doing the quest. There is one or two where you are going to have to travel some before you get to the mobs. You're wondering there, have they phased in yet, or is it just a case that they're far away or something like this? But in this case, yes, they're definitely close in, so entering the place beforehand is not a good idea. So here we are, hobgoblins. Now actually these do count as Elder Slade, because they said defeat hobgoblins in Elder Slade. They do count for that deed, and apparently I haven't finished up my hobgoblin deed yet because I still need a few of these. There we go. So I could, if I want, kill a few extra hobgoblins and just clear out this place. Let's see how we're doing on the matter. See how we're doing on time. I don't want to go too long on this one. I'd like to have a limit of about 10 minutes for the mission, perhaps. Now, you see all these eggs around here where they talked about eggs in that little thing at the beginning? Just note that the eggs are part of another mission where you would come in and break the eggs. And that's what you need to do instead of killing them instead of looking for the boss. Now I'm trying to circle around. And that's what I'll be going here, circling around and going through one of the areas there. And if I kill the boss quickly, then maybe I'll kill a few extra hobgoblins, because you have that 2 minutes before it knocks you back into the war room. Now, of course, in this one, you can avoid being teleported early just by saving the boss for last. In ones where you have to kill a certain number of mobs, that doesn't work all that well, of course. But trying to kill a specific boss, you can just save kill everything else, then go after the boss. But I don't want to kill everything in here before that if it's going to make things take too long. As I said, I don't want there to be more than 10 minutes for this particular one. Now, these guys, what they just summoned is a regular frost breath, so that's not too much of a problem. Now, I don't have to kill all the whelpings because I've already completed my Dragonkind Slayer deed, so I don't have to worry about that one. But I think I do have to worry about my morale because that went down a little bit on there. They throw these cold vulnerabilities onto you, and they also have a tendency to make your weapons freeze, which is a real nasty thing because it makes them less effective. I might as well grab a couple extra hobgoblins because I do have a few extra minutes, it looks like, in here. So I'm going to maybe pick off a couple extra hobgoblins just to help with the deed. Yeah, I've got 85, 160. I think that's the advanced deed, yes. So I need to kill another, well, 75 hobgoblins before I can have this all completed. I'm not going to worry too much about the dragon kind. They tend to be on the edges. On the outskirts of this place, the hobgoblins tend to be more centralized. So if you want just to go after hobgoblins, you can do that pretty easily. Now, I keep on forgetting about this deed, so I tend to circle around as I was starting at the beginning to do in there and go after the boss and then leave with half the hobgoblins left unmolested. And if you're looking to do things quickly, get through the missions as quickly as possible, then that's a good strategy. If you want to work on your deeds and kill as many hobgoblins as possible, then doing what I'm doing here is a viable one. If you need to kill more dragonkind, you could also go after the drakelings here. But as I said, I've already finished that deed, so I'm not really concerned all that much about killing those. Now, I think I've got all the hobgoblins now, and I think I'm also... Yeah, I think I've killed all the hobgoblins. There are some drakelings scattered all about that I haven't gotten yet, but that's... Now, normally I come from that edge and attack from that direction, but this time it looks like it's going to be attacking from here. And we can do that. Now, he's doing the Ephemil's Chosen thing right now. And I'm actually going to let him do it. Normally I'd be kicking him and stopping him as quickly as possible. But I want to show you what I mean by the might of Female. Now that next thing I'm going to stop. He also has other things. But might of Female here, 7,000 frost damage. Yeah, that's it's noisy. It makes it hard to see, and it does 7,000 points of damage. So not exactly something you want, especially if you have a very, very poor tactical mitigation in there. But that's it for that mission. So let's now speak with the scout. You've done well, Pineleaf. Let's report your success to Horn. So in most of the missions, it looks like he says the same thing, though occasionally they say something more, such as they did in one where you defeat all the goblins by out-drinking them and the like. But let's get back to base. We have successfully made it back. Well done, Pineleaf. With Hruknul vanquished, we need not fear continued attacks from the Frost Horde in Arid Mithrian, at least until they send me the next mission over there. And that concludes the missions from Horine, but since he had an odd number there, that means I have another mission I need to run today. So let's go to Ozma, who has 3 additional ones. Now I need a Frosty reception. I have a new mission for you, Pineleaf. I received word that my scouts have located a den of hobgoblins deep in the mountains. But 4 of the scouts never returned. I suspect they've been captured. I need you to infiltrate Vorkodar and rescue them before they're executed, or worse. So we need to go and rescue some dwarves. So we have a Frosty reception. Several scouts keeping watch on the hobgoblins then fail to report back. They must be rescued before it is too late. Your mission is to find and free the captured goblins. Twist crushing. Some monsters in this mission will attempt a crushing attack, wounding and stunning anyone hit. I hate being crushed, so I most likely am going to interrupt it rather than show it to you. Just say it hurts when they do it, and I don't like being stunned. Here we are at a Frosty reception. Now, uh, it so happens that we have that hobgoblin who does that back and forth thing in a most inconvenient way. Let's see if I could just pull that one right over there. I think, whenever I attempt to do that, it winds up bringing in both of them. Just why I tend to avoid doing that. But unfortunately, the timing is that you have to be very, very swift in order to be able to get that first hobgoblin without pulling anyone else. But if you do it just right, because whenever he's here, sometimes I just wait until he comes back and push it there. But if you're in a hurry, then you'll probably have to risk getting two at a time. Now here is the crusher, and it's these frostbound crushers who have that crushing attack. And that's an attack that I do prefer not to have to face. Actually, it seems to me that I could probably survive that crushing one. There's no one else here with them, so this is probably the perfect time to show the crushing attack. Now I think of it. But here you go. You see I'm stunned. I'm crushed, so I take plus 20% damage. Incoming damage, 20 tactical damage. So in other words, I take a great deal of extra damage. And I've got a bit more left because it lasts for 30 seconds, so that can be nasty. And here's the first dwarf to free. So let's free him and get him out of here. And that also allows the crushed to expire. So now we head out this way. Now I presume that, yeah, these do count for the Elder Slade Steed also. So I got 93 of 160 because I've been killing hobgoblins, as we did in the previous run. Now in this case, the mission ends when you kill all 4 dwarves. So if you can make sure that one of the dwarves being rescued is the last in there, then you should have no trouble killing all the hobgoblins. There are some hobgoblins that you can ignore, but down the first 2 tunnels there is nothing you need to worry about. I don't need to be crushed twice. It's only needed to really show that to you once. As I said, I don't like being stunned particularly. Now, there is a shortcut down here. I think it leads to where the third dwarf... I think there is a dwarf down there one perhaps. Yeah, because I could see the quest ring right there where that dwarf is. But that's not the way I'm going to go. I mean, that is one of the routes you could try if you want to risk a hurt ankle. Of course, if you're playing a Berg, you won't have to worry about that. Or if you happen to have bandages up. I don't think it's worth getting bandages just for making that slightly quicker. But it does make things easier, or I guess it could make things faster to rescue the 4 dwarves, but then if you wanted to get back up to pick up the treasure chest, then you're going to have to come back through these guys and fight them out and risk the timeout problem. Now, if you're like me and you have a capped list, yeah, go after the Frostcaller first. How many heals does this guy have? I don't know. There you go. Now, these 2 right here are optional. I think they're the only 2 that I consider to be optional for this particular quest. Now I'm going to have them because I'm still working on the deed, and I might as well make that a little bit better. But I can also skip them if I want. For example, my level 20 character who doesn't have the deed, I just skip these because why bother? It just takes time, extra time in order to kill them. So let's not worry about that. There you go. And of course, the level 20 character very often ports out from where I finish rather than going back to the dwarf, since there's no chested when you're level 20. But in this case, I want to show you where the chests pop out at, and that's the reason why I am returning to the beginning, despite being at cap. So I really don't have to return when you're at the currency cap, because the only thing it does is give you a little bit extra quest text, which is maybe nice the first time you do it, but who cares after doing the same mission, after doing it 10 times? I don't think I've quite gone through 10 cycles yet. I guess we could decide. See the number of quests days since release of War of the Three Peaks. Divide that by 10, and that should give you an idea of what cycle we're in. Alright, that takes care of the third one. And finally, this is the one where I expect that we have that hole that we saw earlier. And let's get rid of this frost collar. And then we can have a look. See if I could find that hole in the ceiling. I've never thought of looking for it. Well, I can look for it afterwards. I got 2 minutes in which to look for this thing, right? So, unfortunately, he does still have his disarmability. At least he didn't do that before, trying to crush me. That would make things a little bit tougher. I know I've got first aid to get my things back, and I should be able to do that and interrupt them in due time. Alright, then that is the 4th captured scout. And now I have 2 minutes to get back to the beginning. Now let's see if I can find the hole in the ceiling. Right? There is. Actually, this is considered to be scout number 3. Or, where is the hole in this end? Because then I just got disoriented. Ah! Yeah, there's the hole right there. Alright. I got disoriented and turned around as I was heading down, because we sort of do this horseshoe bit here. Yeah, alright. Ah, that's what he does. He goes down there, comes there, and moves down there. Alright, fine. And of course our dwarf is up here. Good, great work! Let's return and report our success to Alzma. Alright, at least they changed the name of whom you're reporting to here. Oh, we have returned. Yggdrasil, you arrived when you did. My scouts all arrived in one piece. Good work, Pineleaf. Good work. And that concludes today's lesson, which was the 3rd pair of missions in this particular group. So next time we are going to finish up the missions for this particular day. And we're also going to finish the On a Mission weekly deed that we have over here. And we'll do that when we return to Missions 101.